All right. The Long-Term Care Administrators Board meeting is convening at 9:05 a.m. on September 12th, 2023. This meeting is being held by MS Teams video conference and is being recorded. The recording will be posted on the internet for public viewing. The Health Licensing Office asks that individuals attending through MS Teams keep your phone muted and cameras off during the entire meeting until you are given an opportunity to comment during the public and interested parties feedback period if indicated on the agenda. Please do not use the chat feature during the meeting. I will now call roll. Maggie Hilty, here. Amy Brown,
Here.
Catherine Kolanich, Carol Hankins,
Here.
Samuel Weiss,
Looks like he might have froze up.
Okay, I'll loop back to him. Jennifer
Okay.
Broadbeck,
He was not going to be here today,
okay. Drasti Patel,
and she was not going to be here today as well.
okay. And Jocelyn Cook.
Present.
Wonderful. Samuel Weiss, are you still frozen on my end?
Yeah.
I think he's trying to get back in.
Yeah. There you are.
All right.
Go ahead.
Samuel Weiss, I just need you to confirm that you are here.
And you're on mute, Sam. Are you able to hear us? Mr. Weiss, are you able to hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
There you go.
Yay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Members, when you wish to speak, please state your last name for the record. Board members are asked to not use the chat feature during the meetings. Public members attending in person, is there anyone in person? Wishing to speak must first sign in on the roster sheet, but we're doing it via MS Teams, so I think it's okay. For public members calling in on the phone line or via MS Teams, please email April Fleming at april.fleming, FLEMING, @oha.oregon.gov and provide your first and last name. Public interested parties feedback may be heard during the public interested parties feedback period if indicated on the agenda. Everyone is asked to use appropriate language, manners, and protocols when conducting board business. This meeting is called to order.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Bob Bothwell for the record. We no longer have a regular phone line because oh no, we didn't turn the phone on. It's all on MS Teams. So that's the perplexed look on my face just a moment ago. So Madam Chair, members of the board, good morning and welcome. And on the agenda, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. And Maggie,
yes,
whenever you're ready just to run it, I will sit here and let you run it. And whenever you need help, you just let us know.
I we just moved offices yesterday, so everything for me is like super slow for my internet. So I'm like,
okay.
So I need a motion to approve the agenda.
This is Amy Brown, and I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
This is Carol Hankins. I second the motion.
Wonderful. Bob, do we need to vote? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So to vote yes when your name is called, or vote no, I guess, if you want to. Maggie Hilty, yay. Amy Brown.
Yay.
Carol Hankins.
Yay.
Samuel Weiss.
Yay.
And Jocelyn Cook.
Yay.
Wonderful. The motion is approved.
Very good. Thank you.
Oh,
Next,
approval of
we
the,
should-
of the dates. Okay. Sorry, I should have printed the whole meeting.
fine.
The board must approve the 2024 meeting dates and times. The Health Licensing Office has proposed our next meeting, 9 a.m. March 8th, and then 9 a.m. on September 13th, so 1 year from tomorrow.
So if everybody could, this is Bob, if everybody could take a quick look at your calendars, unless you already know, seeing the material, does anybody have a problem with either of those two dates?
I'm good on my end.
Okay,
Um,
and I'm not seeing anybody raising eyebrows or hands or anything, so
all right, so then we need a motion to approve the dates.
yes.
Weiss, I move we accept those dates.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Carol Hankins, second the motion.
Thank you. I will now call roll. I will call for a vote. That's what I will call for. Maggie Hilsey, yay. Amy Brown,
Yay.
Carol Hankins,
Yay.
Samuel Weiss,
Yay,
and Jocelyn Cook. Yay. Wonderful. The board approved the 2024 meeting dates and times.
Okay, so the next thing on your agenda is approval of the chair and vice chair.
Do I need to review the background and discussion with everyone, or is it just open?
I will actually, Derek, are you online? You want to cover that? You're muted.
Can you say that one more time? Sorry.
Maggie would like a quick background for the board members. We are on the approval of the chair and vice chair, and we need to know who can be appointed chair or vice chair and who's going to be around who's in their first term, and it looks like everybody is, but go ahead. Cover that.
All right. So I'll just kind of get into a little background first. So my name is Derek Foltz. I'm executive assistant here at the Health Licensing Office. And a large part of my job is to find qualified candidates to serve on the various boards and councils that we have. This particular board is made up of 9 members. And as you can see on the chart on page 11, pretty much everybody is in their first term. So those that choose to serve out their first term and go to a second, you can certainly do that. I usually will reach out to individuals about 3 to 4 months prior to their first term ending, ask them, see if they're interested, and then walk them through that reappointment process. And pretty much everybody is qualified to serve as either chair or vice chair, just depending on what the board prefers.
Wonderful.
So Maggie,
Yes, Bob.
if you want, you can, or I can go over the background discussion. We just wanted to get it out there who was in their first term, second term. It looks like everybody can reappoint. And
Okay.
so go ahead.
Oh, so hi, it's Maggie Halsey. So I'm currently serving as chair. I think this is my first year as chair. And then Amy, you've been on the board with me several years now, but you've been serving as vice chair. But we are also both still in our first term, so that points what Derek just said. In the agenda, you guys can see what is kind of the role of each. I'm not sure if I can say this, but I would love to continue sitting as chair. I've really enjoyed it. So I think we just need, if there's any questions or discussion around that, we just need to nominate someone for chair and vice chair.
And this is Amy Brown, and I had sent a message over to the office about my intention to step back from being the vice chair due to some other work, just competing priorities that are occurring in my life. So I will be stepping back from that role, not pursuing being interested in continuing in this seat, just for information for this group.
Amy, do you intend to remain on the board?
No, I do not.
Okay. That's good. Thank you for letting us know.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we just need, is there anyone else who'd be interested in being chair or vice chair?
Okay. Weiss, I'll nominate myself for vice chair if nobody else wants the job.
Okay. Does anybody want to nominate anyone for the chair position?
Well,
This
okay,
is-
I'll nominate Maggie for the chair.
Thanks.
Thank you.
She survived at least this far.
I survived this far. Yeah. I'm getting good at reading the script. Are there any other nominations or comments before we move to take a vote?
We need to have a second.
Oh, yes.
This is Amy Brown, and I second the motion for Maggie Hilty to continue in the president position.
And is there a second for Sam in the vice chair position?
This is Jocelyn Cook. I second Sam Weiss in the vice chair position.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we will now move to a vote. Do we have to do two separate ones, Bob, or one together?
I think we can do it together.
Okay. So the board has nominated myself, Maggie Hilty, for chair and Samuel Weiss for vice chair. I will now call for a vote. So Maggie Hilty, yay. Amy Brown,
Yay.
Carol Hankins,
Yay.
Samuel Weiss,
Yay.
and Jocelyn Cook.
Yay.
Wonderful. The board has elected the proposed.
Right. We're on to the director's report. This is Bob Bothwell, the current interim director, and I will go through the slides real quick. I think everybody's pretty much seen them at one time or another, but if anybody has any questions, please speak up and I will stop and try to answer your question. So the first slide in my report is licenses issued for nursing home administrators in fiscal year Q1 of 2024. We've had we've issued 6 licenses. And then I guess I should clarify, we're not in 2024, but the government years, the fiscal years are July to June and June to July to the end of June, and so on. Residential care administrators in the same time frame, we've issued 32 residential care administrator licenses. Licenses renewed. We've had a total of 58. 38 were online and 20 were by paper. Residential care facility administrators, we've had 195, and 142 were online and 53 were on paper. Licenses by age and gender for nursing home administrator. Looks like we're getting a younger population, 26 to 33, 34 to 41, and 42 to 49, 50 to 57 are our biggest population, and we start to draw as folks move on and hopefully retire. If that's the case, we start to drop down that in those numbers, and so that's a good chart. We've got people coming in as people are going out, and we do have a couple folks 74 to 81. We've got one and 1 female and 7 males that are maintaining a license. Residential care facility administrators by age and gender, same type of graph. And we've got some folks that are in their mid-70s and early 80s, it appears. 1 apiece holding a license for residential care administrator. Licensing trends, administrators, AITs. It's a ever-changing graph, but over the last couple of years, it's continued to grow. And then we have in this quarter 1 of 2024, we've gone from 38 down to 32 and a half. Nursing home administrators, looks like an EKG, but we are on an upward trend with a total of 353 that are showing quarter 1 of fiscal year 2024. Residential care administrators on a steady rise. We've got 886 quarter 1 of 2024. Any questions or comments on any of those before I go into the financials?
This is
Okay.
Carol Hankins, and my
Hi,
question.
Carol.
Hi. So is the first quarter complete? I mean, we're into the second quarter now is my question. Or is that?
August, September? No.
September.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Or we go July,
At-
August, September, and then October.
Yeah. So we're at the end or close to the end.
Thank you.
So your financials are very good. Going into 2024, you have a beginning balance of 801,604. Your revenues are $22,845. Expenses $8,390. Net operations costs $14,455, with an ending cash balance of $816,000. And the charts below show the shared assessments over the last 2 years, and going into this new fiscal year of 2024. And you can see that there are some changes. This is new to the chart. The percentage change between 23 and 24. Shared assessment is 6%, and your small board assessment is 1%. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, hearing none. Moving along at a good clip. I'm not going to be here very long. Trampus will give us the regulatory report.
Hello, everyone. My name is Trampus Sheck. I'm the interim regulatory manager here, and I'm here to talk about what you're seeing here on the regulatory report. You can see that there's actually 3 bienniums showing up on this regulatory report. There is one still hanging on from that 2019 biennium, but that one actually is a little bit, well, it's not incorrect because of the way that we leave cases open, but that case is actually resolved and it's in the final stages. It's actually already been reviewed and it's in the by the board even, and it's in its final stages. So that actually is like I said, not really open, but it's still technically open. You can see that from the 2021 biennium, we still have 10 open, and then the 2023, we still have 43. As far as that goes, looks like we're pretty much through all of the older stuff that I know we had a bit of a backlog a while ago, and now that pretty much has loosened up, and we're through most of that. Go ahead, Sam. did you have a question?
Yeah, this is Weiss. I'm wondering if you could explain why over those 3 periods we show, we opened 54, but we closed 132. So we closed 78 more than what it shows we opened. I'm just not quite sure that I understand those numbers.
Okay, so yeah, so I think what we're seeing here is, okay, yeah, so that last number is actually grand total. So that's showing, that's like an adding up all of the ones from 19, 21, and 23. So basically total, we opened up 186 for those 3 biennium. To break that down, 54 of them are still open, which is the total number of cases we have actually open at this moment in time. And then 132 of the 186 are actually closed from those 3 biennium.
Those numbers still, if you look at the totals, the total open is 78 less than the total closed. And
Sam,
so-
the 2 yellow lines go together.
Yeah.
So the 54 and the 132 is how they're getting the 186. So the yellow lines are the subcategories, and then the yellow plus the yellow equals the grand total blue.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah, so if you read them down in a column, you've got like 2019 biennium, and it shows, it's kind of like the bottom blue number, 48. That's the total number of cases, complaints that we had come in the 2019 biennium. The 2 yellow numbers in that column, total of 1 and the 47, indicate that there's 1 left open of that 48, and there's 47 that were closed of that 48.
yeah, no.
And then
what I'm trying to understand is we have closed 78 more than were open. So doesn't a case have to be open before it can be closed? And if it needs to be open before it's closed, then there's 78 in the open that are missing.
So the number of total cases that were opened is the blue line across the bottom that says grand total, that were total opened for those bienniums. So if you look at the blue line that says grand total, there were 48 in 2019 of that biennium. That's actually represents 2 years, by the way. The grand total for the ones opened in the 2021 biennium were 67. The total number that were open for 2023, which we just ended recently, is 71. And we have so that represents 186 still currently that were total opened. And then the yellow line right above that, the 47, 57, 28, 132 represents the ones that are still open for those,
Closed.
or excuse me, those are closed. And then the line up here, yeah, I'm pointing, nobody can see me pointing, I'm pointing at these numbers, but.
So Sam, you're getting the 78 number from 132 that are closed and 54 that are open, correct? Because that's 132 minus 54 is 78. There's a 78
yeah.
discrepancy there. So
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
All the ones that are closed were open at one point. We've just closed them.
Yeah. So the total number of cases that we received in those 3 biennium is 186. The 54 is the ones that remain open still. The 132 are the ones of the 186 that we closed. So the 54 plus 132 equals 186.
Okay, let me see if I understand the explanation. Those numbers for open are the ones who are currently open.
Yes.
The number of cases that were opened in that period.
Correct,
Yes.
yeah.
So-
The grand
so we have
total
50
number,
We have 54 cases we haven't resolved yet. Is that
Correct.
what you're saying?
that's
Correct.
what it's saying, yeah.
Oh, so maybe something would clarify that a little bit more for somebody looking at it who hasn't had your good explanation. Thank you.
I can understand how that would say that, how open meaning these are the ones we opened. Yeah, we mean they are the ones that are currently open. Yeah, I could, that I can see where that would be.
So, this is
how you
Bob,
could read
if
it
I
that way
may,
for sure.
perhaps we can, add the word currently on that top green line where it says open. We can just say currently open. Would that help, Sam?
That sounds like it would explain it to somebody who's looking at it, yes.
Yeah,
I can
somebody
make
not
that
having
change
the-
right now.
Yeah. So you can actually see though an interesting little bit of a trend. You can see that we went from in the 19 biennium, the 21 biennium, and the 23 biennium. You can see, I'm looking at the grand total now. These are the number of cases we received. That 2019 biennium, for the 2 years that encompasses, we received 48 complaints. 2021, we received 67, and then in the last one, the 2023, is the grand, we received 71. So you can see that they have gone up. I actually looked a little into these numbers, and you can kind of see it in the closed numbers and the open numbers when you look at them up here. But when you kind of add them together, the picture that you kind of see is that for nursing home administrators, the numbers are pretty constant for the number of complaints we've got in for those 3 biennium. And for unlicensed category, the number of complaints are relatively, between 14 and 16 or 12 and 16. So not a huge up and down. Really what you're seeing is the addition of residential care administrators. And that's what's bumping these cases up. You haven't really seen an increase in nursing home administrator cases or unlicensed situations. What we've really seen is the bump in residential care. So just a kind of an interesting piece of this which is what we expected. And, to be honest, it hasn't really bumped up as much as it could have with the number of people. We have more residential care administrators out there, something like almost 900 compared to like 400, I think were the numbers. So we're seeing a bump, but we're not seeing a massive influx or anything at this point. So, yeah. Did anybody else have any questions about this regulatory report?
Right.
No?
Seeing
Okay.
none, thank you, Trampus.
Mhm.
All right, we're on, if we may, Chair, go to the policy, and I will step aside and let Ann come on in here.
Sounds good.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Ann.
Hello, for the record, I'm Ann Thompson. I'm the policy analyst for the Long-Term Care Administrators Board. What I have for you to look at today is mainly informative. Because the temporary staffing agency program is linked to your world, in that a lot of long-term care facilities or other care facilities will employ personnel from these temporary staffing agencies. We had a new program given to us in 2022, just got off the ground on July 1st of this year. And right on the heels, we had House Bill 2665, which I included in your packet, to show you that this particular bill made some changes to our temporary staffing agency program, and also created something that might be of interest to you for you guys that have are in the long-term care area, which are rate caps. This actually introduces the concept of establishing maximum rates that temporary staffing agencies can charge clients that procure personnel through them. We will not be doing that part. That's a delicate economic exercise, and that will be handled by another unit in the Oregon Health Authority They're already starting to spin up the process, though. You can imagine the lift on this. It will get going in June 1st of 2025. I included the markup rules. Those rules will go into effect on July 25th. They've been filed permanently. So the public interested parties section on the agenda today won't be discussing the rules. The rules mainly looped in the changes brought about by 2665, which is why you can see the markup. Obviously, bold is new. Line through is what it's replacing. And just to give you kind of a broad overview of the changes brought about to this program, a lot of it was technical, kind of dialing down what personnel was defined as, looping in some areas for additional civil penalties and things like that. It was not controversial. It was just some technical fixes that the legislators decided that program needed. So informative only, but do you have any questions on the bill or the temporary staffing agency program? Don't all jump in at once? No? Okay. Well, if you don't have any questions, this is something that has generated a lot of conversation in your world. And if you have any interest, or the organizations that you work for have any interest in participating in the process by which they're going to roll out these rates and the waivers that are going to be available and the methods by which they're going to adjudicate those waivers, just let me know. And I'm kind of learning the personnel that are going to be on that team. I can certainly forward you. They're going to have to build interested party lists just like we have for rules advisory committees and, opportunities for people to get updates on that program. So if you have any interest, just send it to me and I will get it over to the right people at OHA. We good? Okay, I'm going to let Bob take back over.
Right. So, Chair, if you would please, we can read public and interested parties feedback. I don't believe there's any public on the phone. But if we read it and nobody responds, I think we'll be good.
Would we see them on Teams if we had anybody waiting?
Yeah, but there's a long list.
Oh dear. Okay.
And it looks like mostly staff, but yeah, we'll just read it.
Okay. All right. At this time, the Long-Term Care Administrator Board will hear public interested parties' feedback. Members of the public, please wait until you have been recognized and also let us know that you're here. Once recognized, please state your name and affiliation for the board to record. Is there any public or interested parties on the line that have feedback they want to share? Going once, going twice? Doesn't sound like it.
I'm gonna guess there's none, Chair.
Are we now entering into executive session?
Yes.
Alrighty. The Long-Term Care Administrators Board will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192.6602F and ORS 676.595 for the purpose of considering information exempt from public disclosure at 9:39 a.m. I almost said p.m. a.m. on September 12th, 2023. Representatives of the news media shall be allowed to attend the executive session via MS Teams and will be provided further login instructions shortly. MS Teams will be muted for the duration of executive session. Are there any representatives of the news media on the public line?
I don't believe so.
All right. If no, there is no news media in attendance, the public phone line will be muted for the duration of executive session. We will return to open session before taking any final action or making any decisions. You want me to estimate the time? It is estimated that the board will return at
Krampus.
I was about to say, I don't know that it's going to take a really long time. I would say it's it's going to be a short one. So
Okay, like 10?
probably 10, 15 minutes probably would be the max. Yeah.
Okay,
Unless people have a lot of discussion.
let's estimate at 10 a.m. and that way if we need to step away and take a quick bathroom break, we have a chance. Please be aware that it is possible that the board's executive session will last longer than 10 a.m. If the public has any questions about whether the board is still in executive session, then the public can contact April Fleming at april.fleming, Fleming, @oha.oregon.gov. We are now in executive session.
Okay, give us a minute. She's